assigned to a specific group of people. Would you say that? Do you think he has an evil eye towards his brothers? No, right? What about the Chinaman? What about Somalis? Nope. Who has an evil eye toward their brother? Black folks. So who could resonate with this? Us. Read on. His eye shall be evil toward his brother
and toward the wife of his bosom.
Who has an evil eye against the wife of his bosom? Us, right? Because brothers get a woman pregnant, right? And what's the first thing they say? Come on now. Let's give me one. Is what? Is what? We do that, right? You're gonna have an evil eye toward the wife of your bosom, read.
And toward the remnant of his children.
He's gonna have an evil eye towards the remnant of his children. What are we known for when we have children? What are we known for? Doing what? Read it again from the top.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
right?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His eye gonna be evil toward his brother.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And toward the remnant of his children.
And towards his children.
Which he shall leave.
Which he shall what?
Which he shall leave.
That's in the Bible.
Right.
That don't resonate with your spirit? That don't make you think? So if the Lord is saying this is going to happen to a specific group of people, right, in the last days, and this happens to us, but the Lord ain't talking to the black man or the African American, the Lord's talking to the Israelite. Who would that make us? It will have to make us the Israelites. Right, check this out. Give verse 68. Now how do they tell us we got to America? We got ships. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
If you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt or back into slavery again. Read.
But with ships.
With what?
With ships.
I'm going to bring you back into slavery with ships this time. Because they walked out of Egypt before. Now he said, I'm going to send you back into slavery on ships if you disobey. You ever heard that? That's crazy, right? Why is that in the Bible? Why did Juneteenth just pass and they never read this for us?
Yeah.
Right? Why does Black History Month go by and they never tell you that your history's in the Bible?
Right.
And this was written before it happened. Because the Lord said, yo, y'all, this is surely going to come to pass. If you don't obey me, these things are going to happen to you. What do you think we chose to do? You think we listen to the Lord? Nah, that's why these things happen. Read it from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse number 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again.
With ships.
On ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Right.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
It's going to be a new slavery this time. Go ahead.
And there.
And once you get off those slave ships.
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What's this, Admiral?
Unto your enemies.
You're going to be sold unto your enemies, read.
For bondmen.
Enslaved men.
And bondwomen.
Enslaved women.
And no man shall buy you.
And no one can redeem you out of that slavery. Right. What happened to Malcolm X? Martin Luther King. Nat Turner. No one could save us out of this condition.
Right.
Right? Because Black Lives Matter, they're just marching. There ain't no change happening at all. Have we gotten a bill passed that says if you kill a nigga, you going to jail for umpteen years? Nah, not that you heard of. That would have been national news. Right? Yeah. So we're still suffering from breaking the Lord's commandments.
Right.
You'd agree, right? Yeah. So when we ask what's your nationality? We find it in the Bible. Right? Because it was prophesied. Get on Jeremiah 17:4. And this is why the Bible is so important. Right? Because remember, you've been to church before. They're not reading to you the Bible in this manner so that you can understand what's in it and why it's there and what's next. Right? They're reading to you from a standpoint of I want you to feel good so you can come back and give me some more money. Do you want money from this brother?
Nope.
You want money? You want money? What do we want from this brother?
5 minutes.
We want 5 minutes so you can repent.
Right.
So you can learn who you are. You can finally learn that you're not just an African American nigga from Cali, right? The gang banging capital, and that you're more than just what this country chalks you up to be.
Right.
Right. What's your job? What's your rate?
I'm a corpsman. I work in the hospital.
You're a corpsman. You work in the hospital.
Yeah, I work in the emergency room.
Right. How come? If you would have never went to the Navy, would you be working in somebody's hospital? Yeah, no. Right, because the white man says, "Hey, look, if you come serve me, I'll give you a better standpoint, a better opportunity in life. But first, you got to sign these documents. Your initial contract is gonna be 4 to 5 years, right? Right. Sometimes they give you a signing bonus.
Yeah.
They lie sometimes too. Yeah. You get the maps, ain't nothing shaking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But how come that is, bro? You serve them. It's like you bypass college.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas going to college 4 years to do what you're doing right now.
Yep.
They still can't get Think about that. So the Lord said you would have to serve your enemies, right? What you got?
Jeremiah 17:4.
All right, read that real quick, and then I want you to get Deuteronomy 28 for the brother. And I'm going to show you the whole point of this.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse number 4.
Read out.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine inheritance
Now, he
that I
said
gave
this
thee.
people would discontinue from the heritage that he gave them.
Right.
On the whole face of the earth, from all the history you've ever known and been taught, what people have discontinued from their heritage? Who?
Us, baby.
Us. How?
Simply being discontinued from our heritage.
Yeah. What does it mean to discontinue from your heritage?
I mean, I no longer represent.
You no longer know where you're from, who you are.
Mhm.
What else? What else comes with that? Because in slavery, did we come over here speaking English?
No.
So we lost what?
We lost our. I guess we lost our. I am speaking.
We lost our language, our native tongue.
Uh-huh.
What about the history of your kings and your queens? Oh, not your queens, but your kings, your princesses.
I guess we lost all knowledge.
We lost all knowledge of self. You discontinue from your heritage.
Right.
How you used to dress, how you used to think, right? Because you agree that different people have different outlooks on life.
Right.
Mhm.
Right, based on your, first of all, from your ethnic origin, how you were raised to look at the world. Because the Somali man is gonna look at life different than you are, because he's raised on different tenets and principles.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We raised to be what? We head on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? Watching your back. Man, I don't trust that nigga over there. Type shit. You feel me? So what we gotta understand is we discontinue from our heritage, and we've had to cultivate our own culture and heritage here in America, which is nothing but just violence, rap, women shaking their ass, brothers with their pants to the back of their knees. That's madness, right? So go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48 real quick. I'm gonna give you one more curse.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 48, and it reads, Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
We will have to serve our enemies, read.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
Go ahead.
in hunger,
In hunger,
and in thirst,
and in thirst,
and in nakedness.
and in nakedness. Now, hunger and thirst, right? Who owns, what's that, tropical smoothie?
Yeah.
Who owns tropical smoothies?
Probably a rich white focus on.
So when you work all month, all week, right? You get paid first and the 15th, and you gotta leave your money to who?
White man.
Is that right?
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all. They own all the establishments. You gotta
Mhm.
serve them in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, meaning the clothes on your back, right? Because your shirt says what? Hanes, Adidas. Didn't we pick all the cotton, bro?
Yep.
Right? Didn't we slave day in and day out? Grandmothers, grandfathers getting their backs beat in, just to own none of the cotton, bro.
Right.
Right? And then one of all things, go ahead.
And in want of all
You
things,
have to serve your enemies in one of all things, go ahead.
and he
That same enemy,
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy
he
neck,
was gonna put a yoke of iron upon your neck
until he have destroyed thee.
until you were destroyed. Right? So now you're destroyed, these could come off. Because when I asked your ethnicity, you said what? When I asked your religious system, you said, well, you kind of what? Everywhere with it.
Yeah.
Because your fathers are, and the rest of your families are Christians. So now them yokes of iron can come off because y'all destroyed.
Right.
You have no sense of guidance, direction, self. You don't know what God to serve. You don't know how to serve him. You have no understanding of your ancient texts. You don't know who you are no more. Right? So now that you know you're what? What's your nationality? What did the Lord call you?
Black. Or American.
He didn't call you none of that. The Lord didn't call you that. You think your great grandma looked at her son or her daughter, right? And your great grandfather looked at his son and his daughter and said, "You're gonna be an American." You think that's what they did? Nah. So who told you was an American? An African American. Right. It's that simple. So get Deuteronomy 29 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse number 1.
Bring it out.
These are the words of the covenant, which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Who are we?
With the children of Israel.
Who's this brother?
The children of Israel.
The Lord is talking to the children of Israel, the chosen people, right? A royal priesthood, a nation of kings and priests, a people above all people,
Right.
right? So who are you? Huh?
Not me. Yeah.
What did the Lord call you?
Oh, Israel.
Israel.
Israel. Yeah.
You're an Israelite, right?
That's right.
Most likely from the tribe of Judah, right? What is sign? You're an Israelite, most likely from the tribe of Judah, King. All right? So you can't go around calling yourself black no more. Now I understand you got to live in this world, live in this society, or you have an obligation you have to fulfill. Nevertheless, you need to internalize and understand that the Lord called you an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
All right, you're not just a black man. You're not just a nigga. You got a higher purpose.
Right.
You're supposed to be serving the Lord for real,
Yeah.
right? But due to circumstances, us disobeying the Most High, now we got to serve the white man.
Right.
Let me show you something else. Get Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse number 6, and it reads, "But thou art an holy people
The Lord said we are a holy people, right?
unto the Lord thy God.
Meaning we're separate. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee
The Lord chose us.
to be a special people unto himself,
We're a special people unto the Lord. Read.
above all people,
We're what?
above all people
We're above all people. Read.
that are upon the face of the earth."
That are upon the face of the earth. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
What makes us above all people?
I don't know. I guess we could say.
What aren't we the best at?
What aren't we the best at?
Yeah, I feel like that's a shorter.
As just black folks in general.
Yeah. What aren't we the best at?
I mean,
Are we the fastest? Are we the best at track?
yeah. I mean, like we probably the most gifted, athletic. You know, athletic wise,
Aren't we smarter? Didn't we invent all the major inventions? Huh? Think about it. We invented what? What's some of the inventions we invented?
The AC.
The AC,
Toilet stool.
Heat and ventilation.
heat and ventilation, toilet stool.
Not getting paid for nothing.
We not
Stop
nah.
light.
The internet.
Right.
Security system.
Cell phone.
GPS.
Everything you need
Yeah.
for modern civilization, we invented, bro. That's what makes us a people above all people. That's what makes us a chosen people. And
Right.
on top of that, our athletic prowess.
Yeah.
Like you said, you never seen Korean LeBron James.
Right.
Nah.
Just a Korean man, flat face, 6'9", straight dunking on all the Taiwanese
crazy.
people. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. He,
crazy.
you know what I mean? I mean, you seen the Yao Ming, but he
He
was alright for a little bit, and his feet was too little for his body. Kept fracturing his feet. He was out of there. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen it. We ain't seen. Come on, bro. We ain't seen the Somalian Usain Bolt. You know what I mean? Coming out there just smoking everybody, but we different. We above all people. Right? Give me that in Matthew the 5th chapter. The Lord said we're the salt of the earth. Give me Matthew the 5th chapter. Right? Because what does it mean to be the salt of the earth? What is salt? What do you salt for? Season. Right? Watch this.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse number 13.
There you go.
Ye are the salt of the earth.
What did the Lord say?
Ye are the salt of the
The
earth.
Lord said his people are the salt of the earth. What does that mean? You season the whole earth, right? Because the Chinese man wasn't wearing the
The dunks.
the Under Armours, the dunks. And so who did it?
Jordan.
You said
Black
Jordan. What is
people, yeah.
Jordan? It's
Black
all
people.
black people.
Yeah.
He made it popular.
Yeah.
We started wearing those shoes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
They weren't being b-boys and spinning on their heads until who did it? So we did it. The whole world wasn't rapping and singing blues and jazz until who did it? So we did it. We the salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Everybody want to rap and be an athlete now because of who? You ever be scrolling Instagram and you see all these white dudes doing little basketball training videos? Ain't never did nothing in their life with hooping, but they want to be trainers.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Because we did it. Everything we do, they want to do. We the salt of the earth. That's how you know the scriptures is talking about you.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now that you know you an Israelite, what do you got to do?
Look deeper into it, I guess. Learn.
Well, yeah, you got to study to show yourself approved.
Yeah.
You gotta take back your nationality. Right? We gonna start. Take out your phone. Follow our YouTube. While you said that's a great point. Right, that's a great point. Let the brother do this real quick, and then you can bring it up. What's your name again, Ken?
Jaheim.
Jaheim?
Yeah, you like the singer?
Yeah, like to sing.
Yeah.
We singing with
Hell no, I can't sing. Hell no, I just play football.
for sure.
What's the YouTube name?
WFI Virginia.
WFI Virginia.
Yes, sir. So white logo with a look like this. Yeah, look like this.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
All right, WFI Virginia.
Yep. Just
Now,
subscribe right now.
bring that out. What you got?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse number 12.
Bring it out.
And now, Israel,
And now, Jaheim, you are Israel. And now, Jaheim,
what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
what does the Lord require of you?
But to fear the Lord thy God,
Right?
to walk in all his ways,
Right.
and to love him,
And to love the Lord.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart
Go ahead.
and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord,
What we got to do?
to keep the commandments of the Lord,
To keep the commandments of the Lord. That's how you show the Lord you love him. By keeping his commandments.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
And it's for our good to do them. Right? Because your father as a Muslim, he can't teach you your nationality biblically. Now the Quran means to what? It means to recite. But what is it reciting? It's reciting this. They take bits and pieces out of the Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible.
Yep.
But the Quran is not a book that was implemented for the so-called black man. It was a book that was implemented based on this book to put order amongst the Arab man, because they had a God for each day of the year. So they saw how prosperous the true people of God were, our people were, when we kept the law, statutes, and commandments. So they used this as a basis for their own society. You understand? So now you know that you are an Israelite and the Lord requires you to keep his commandments.
Right.
I'm going to give you some of his commandments before you go. All right, let's get some of the commandments for the brother.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11. It's like verse number 1.
Let's go to 7.
Go straight to it. Verse number 7.
Bring it up.
And the swine.
And the swine. You know what swine is? Pork. Pork. Right? And the swine.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed,
The pig has traits of a clean animal,
yet he cheweth not the cud,
but he doesn't properly digest his food. Read.
he is unclean to you.
You eat pork?
Nah,
You don't eat pork at all?
I eat on my dad.
Right.
Turkey bacon.
And that's why I tell you that comes from the Bible. Right? That's a good tenet that they got from the Bible. Good law. Right? It's unclean to you. So the brother doesn't eat pork. Now go to verse 9.
Verse number 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
This is what you can eat that comes out of the water. Go ahead.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters,
If it has fins and scales in the water,
in the seas,
go ahead.
and in the rivers,
Right?
them shall ye eat.
You can eat that. What does that mean? You can eat what? Fish. Right? Read.
And all that have not fins and scales in
If
the
they
sea.
don't have fins and scales, you a smart brother. I see you can do some deductive reasoning. If the Lord said you can eat what has fins and scales, and he said, and all that have not fins and scales, what you think he about to say? Yeah, what you think he about to say about that stuff?
Don't eat it.
Don't eat
Not
it.
allowed.
It's a smart brother right here.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers,
Right.
of all that move in the waters,
Right.
of any living thing which is in the waters,
Uh-huh.
they shall be an abomination unto you.
It's an abomination. That's it. Don't eat it. You eat shrimp, crab, lobster.
I recently just stopped. I did, but I recently just stopped. I did a little research. You know, shrimp was bottom feeders. I guess that's like part of the roach family. I guess.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Shrimp,
So
crab, lobster.
yeah. So yeah, I
Clam.
recently just stopped.
Right,
Yeah.
brother. Don't eat
Oh,
none of that
praise.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right? 'Cause it's in the Bible. Not because I said it, but because if you truly love the Lord, that's what you would do. That's what he requires of us. Because you know now you're not just a nigga, you're not just African American, a brother from Cali, Jaheem from the block, right? What's your nationality? We Israel, brother. We the Israelites.
That's
yo.
right.
You can't never forget that, man.
Nah, I won't.
Right?
Man.
Because
Oh,
Muslim
please.
isn't a nationality. Christianity is not a nationality. These are dogmatic religions, right? Because when you look into the tenets of Muslim, they'll have you worshiping Muhammad. And Muhammad, according to their text, is a so-called white man.
Right.
That's a fact. Facts. You gotta get into this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? In Christianity, they'll have you worshiping this,
Yeah.
right? When did the Lord tell you this is what his son looks like?
Nah.
What do he look like?
I don't know.
You have no clue.
Nope.
And you came to the right place, man.
Yep.
Because we got a clue.
Yeah.
Bring it out for the brother. Revelations.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse number 13, and it reads,
And we gonna compare what this says to this.
Yep.
Bring it out.
and in the midst of 7 candlesticks,
Right?
one like unto the Son of Man,
That Son of Man is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
So he had on a long garment. So it's describing his appearance. Read.
and girded about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a golden girdle on. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
His what?
His head and his hairs were white like
So
wool.
the hair on his head and on his face, it was white and it was woolly. Who has woolly hair? Relax. So this is more evidence of who we are and who Christ is. And as we get older, what color does our hair turn? Gray or white, right? What's the picture?
It's over here.
No, it's right. Right, like this brother right here. You know, like your uncle, man.
Yep.
Uncle Freddie coming to the cookout with his slippers on. Right? His head and his hairs were white like wool.
And as white as snow.
Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of
Now,
fire.
does this man have woolly hair?
Nope.
Does he have eyes that are a flame of fire? So that's strike 2. How many strikes you get in baseball? 3 strikes. All right, so you already had 2. Read.
And his feet.
And his feet. So now John's looking at Christ's feet. He's going to describe his feet. So your feet, the top of your feet, the color is the rest of your body, right? Same color, right? And his feet, go ahead.
Is like unto fine brass.
His feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass?
Brass, you said?
Brass.
Oh, brass, like brown.
Like brown, right? Like turn this thing around. Right, like right here, right? His feet like unto fine brass, read.
As if they burned in the furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. So how dark is that brass?
Pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. So if Christ is walking the earth, what would they call him today?
Black man.
A black man. Right? A black man. Because Christ's people, remember we read all those curses. Slave ships, yokes of iron on your neck. You're going to hate your brothers, leave your children. These curses are signs to these people. Now Christ is the son. He comes from these people. Right? So, of course, he would look like his people, right?
Yeah.
So if Christ looked like that, the rest of his people look like that, and his people went through these curses, it's all starting to come together.
Yeah.
It's us, bro.
Yeah.
Right, so this is Caesar Borgia. Right, this is the son of the sixth Pope of Rome. Now, the Pope had Leonardo da Vinci to paint this image, right? Because he died, most likely from a sexually transmitted disease, because he was a homosexual and he practiced incest. Y'all know what incest is? Right. They did all these nasty things. So why is grandma worshiping this image, bowing down to it? And how come you know that and grandma don't know that?
Well, my family is in the church. Well, my family is in the church. My dad got out of the church. So
Dad did. What about the rest of your family?
the rest of my family is still in the church.
Right. So what's your dad believe now?
You know, he believes, but he don't partake in the church.
What about you? What you believe?
I believe, but I don't believe in the church.
You're 17, right? So when does the society tell you a grown man? 18. Now we know that the cerebral cortex doesn't fully develop till you're around 24, 25.
Yeah.
That's when you come into your full understanding as a man. It's a grown man. I would say at 18 you're still a young man. But nevertheless, the society is going to tell you you're going to have to stand on something. You're going to have to choose whether you believe or not believe. Now I'm going to show you, right? Get Revelations 1 for the brother. I'm going to show you what the Bible says about this man right here. Give me that in Maccabees. Right? Second Maccabees 3 and 48. Was it First Maccabees 3 and 48? Right? Yeah, bring that up.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse number 13.
Listen to this.
And in the midst of seven candlesticks,
In the midst of the seven candlesticks,
one like unto the Son of Man,
this is who the world calls Jesus Christ. Read.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
So it's getting into the description of how he looked like. Read.
and girded about the paps with a golden girdle.
Come on.
His head and his hairs
His head and his hairs, meaning the hair on his face and on his head,
were white like wool.
was what?
We're white like wool.
Now, who has woolly hair? Us, right? And as we get older, what color does the hair turn? Right. Turns gray, or it turns, what did that say? It said white like wool. Right? See that? Like a sheep. His head and his hairs was white like wool. Go ahead.
As white as snow.
Read.
And his feet,
That's not what it says.
oh, Salaki. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Salaki.
Right? So does this man have white woolly hair? He has woolly hair?
No.
Is his hair white? Is his eyes like a flame of fire? No, right? So that's strike 2. Go ahead.
And his feet
His feet.
like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Brown. His feet, right? Like unto fine brass.
As if they burned in the furnace.
How dark was it?
As if they burned in the furnace.
So Christ was so dark, it looked like he got burned in the furnace. So if he was walking the earth today, woolly hair and his white, eyes as a flame of fire, and he's a dark-skinned man, who would he look like? He would look like us.
Right.
Right? So this is what happens when you open up the Bible and actually read. You learn that this is a lie. Right? That's in the scriptures. So you shouldn't stop believing the Bible. You should stop believing what?
What they say.
Huh?
Their depictions. And what
You
they
should
say.
stop believing the depictions, and you should stop believing the person who told you that this was Christ, which is who?
White man.
The white man. It's that simple. Because your friend, somebody who loves you, would never tell you, right? First of all, you have to hate Christ to change his image, right? That's hate. Because if in 10 years, if somebody comes and says, nah, let's say you invent some major new great technology, and in 10 years they paint you as a white man. It's because they don't want the world to know you was black. Now Christ came and gave salvation to his people, and he gave a message of liberation and how it would happen, and what happened to all the people who oppressed his people. Now what Christianity did is they told you this was a white man, and that all he ever taught was love, right? He didn't teach nothing about liberation. He didn't teach nothing about the condition of his people, what they would be doing in the last days, right? And he told you to love everybody. So now they completely changed and distorted the message this man came with and his image. So now when you're looking at this man, you see, when you look around and you see them, you see who? Him. You see him. And when you look at yourself, you see what?
Just see me.
Just some nigga.
Yep.
But if they told us that the true image of Christ, he would be a so-called black man with woolly hair, eyes as a flame of fire, and he's coming back with a flaming sword of vengeance. Now you're looking at yourself as what? As a king.
Yep.
Right? As a brother that needs liberation, that needs to be saved. See, this is the difference in the Bible and Christianity. Christianity doesn't teach you what the Bible says. They teach you what they've been taught, which is a dogmatic religion since the inception of this country, from the times of slavery. They've taught us that they are white, because white means what? Everything good, holy, acceptable, and black is what? The opposite. Everything evil, demented, dark, distorted, hateful, ignorance. The Lord never called you brothers black. He said that y'all are the Israelites of the Bible. You are God's chosen people. You ever wonder why you run the fastest, jump the highest, or we invented all the major inventions, even when we was in slavery? Why they needed us to build this country? It's because y'all are the greatest people that ever walked on the face of the earth. Right? Bring that up.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse number 6.
Bring it up.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The Lord said we are a holy people, a separate people unto him. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee
The Lord chose us
to be a special people unto himself.
to be a special people unto himself.
Above all people.
Though we equal.
Above all people
Above all people
that are upon the face of the earth.
that are upon the face of the earth. Now, this country will tell you that they established it on the tenets of the Bible, right? They even put on the back of your dollar and what? What's on the back of the dollar? What's the saying?
In God we
In
trust.
God we trust, right? And they tell you that all people were created equal. Why they had you in slavery, right? That's a contradiction right there. Nevertheless, the Lord never said all people are equal. He said the Israelites are people that are above all people, right, that are upon the face of the earth. The people that he chose to be a special people unto himself. Y'all, you understand what I'm saying? We are those people. You know how we know?
Word.
From the word. But do you know how we know from the word? The scriptures. Let's get into the scriptures. Look at Deuteronomy 28. Now you know history, right? You know the history of the so-called African American, so-called black man. How did we get to America?
It says across the
Transatlantic slave trade. We were brought here to be what?
slaves.
To be slaves. Right? Let's see it in the Bible.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass.
Now y'all know the story of Moses. Moses said, let my people go. These people were slaves in Egypt. He delivered them out of Egypt through the hand of God. This is after that. But it shall come to pass.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
He's talking to the same people he just said. It shall come to pass if you don't listen to the voice of God. Read.
to observe to do all his commandments
To observe to do all his commandments.
and the statutes which I command thee this day,
Go ahead.
that all these curses,
What?
that all these curses,
What are we?
that all these curses
That all these curses.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said, if you don't obey me, all these curses are going to come upon you and overtake you. Now, y'all some smart brothers. I want to ask you, us as a people, are we blessed or are we cursed as a whole people here in America? We're cursed. Because what are we doing as a people? Do we love each other? How do we see each other?
Not the same, not even.
Just niggas. Don't we kill a nigga fast? The niggas, you stare at a nigga too long, and then what? It's on and popping. Step on the nigga's shoes, it's on and popping. Nigga trying to, he rapping about taking your girl, sleeping with her, right? This is who we've become as a people. But that's because we're cursed, because we refuse to follow the Lord. How he said we should follow him. Not how the Christian church says, not how the Muslims say, but how he said it.
Right.
And these are some of the curses that bear witness. Watch this. Get verse 48.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28,
Turn this around.
verse number 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
The Lord said, because we didn't want to serve him, therefore we're going to have to serve our enemies. Go ahead.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
Which he's going to send against us
in hunger,
in hunger
and in thirst,
and in thirst
and in nakedness.
and in nakedness. Meaning when you're hungry, who do you got to go to eat? Yeah. Because you like to eat what? Chicken. Who owns chicken? Who owns the farms? Who owns Popeyes? Right? What you like to drink? What kind of juice? Juicy juice? Apple juice? Who owns it? Soda? Water? Them. And who's the them? Don't be scared, brother. We ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. Because no longer do you know who you are. The Lord called us Israelites, but we call ourselves black, African Americans, niggas, right? Until you were destroyed, now the yokes of iron can come on. Because y'all ever had a dog in y'all life? You put that dog on a leash so it can't go but so far, right? Once that dog learns not to go past that leash because it's going to pop, right? It's going to snag his neck. You take that leash off, he's going to go how far? Not far at all. Same thing with us. When they took the leashes off, the chains off, now because we need the white man now. We depend on him for our food, for our water, pay our rent to him, right? We got to go to him when our car breaks down, right? To get our gas cut on. You understand? We have become dependent on another nation of people. That's a curse in the Bible. Does this fit the Chinese man? The Arab man? Right? The white man? It only fits who? It fits us. So this is how we know that we're the people this is talking about. This is how we know that this isn't a book about fairy tales. This is a book about reality, harsh reality, and the truth that has been hidden from our people. That Christ is not a white man. Christ is a brother, a so-called black man. He's coming back and he's going to be very angry with the people who did this to his people. Right? He's coming back to liberate the people who have to serve their enemies in one of all things. You understand that? Y'all some smart brothers to be y'all age. Right? A lot of brothers y'all age aren't receptive. That just shows me that the Lord has put a certain spirit on you. Because you'll be surprised how often do we talk to brothers their age? They talking folly and madness. You can tell they got that want to be a rapper spirit. Facts. And I know, what grade y'all in?
I just graduated.
You just graduated? All praise to the Most High. You in 11. What are the brothers y'all ages doing? Nothing. What are they striving to be? Huh? Nobody. Well, we say nobody, but in reality, they want to be Lil Durk, Boss Man, D-Lo, right? They want that Bentley Bentayga. It's the hottest thing out right now, right? As he said, they want to sell what? Dope, because that's cool. And the women like what? The girls y'all age, they want the niggas with money. Or at least who look like they got it. This has become our culture. Because we've forgotten that the Lord said we're a holy people, separate people. So you brothers are never going to forget this talk. You might go on and live your lives, but you're going to ever be marked by what you hear here today. And you're going to be held accountable. That's a fact. Now again, this isn't Christianity. I'm not here trying to make you feel good. Because the Lord said you're going to know the truth and the truth shall make you free. Now y'all are at the age of understanding. Now you got to understand the Lord of the Bible. Get Ezekiel 7 real quick. Get Ezekiel 7 and go to verse 4. I'm going to show you about the God of the Bible.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse number 4.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and mine eye shall not spare thee,
Right? The Lord said, my eyes is not going to spare thee, read.
neither will I have pity,
He's not going to have pity either.
but I will recompense thy ways upon thee.
He's going to recompense your ways, meaning whatever you do, the Lord's going to hold you accountable because you're old enough to understand. You're not an innocent little baby anymore who's just wandering around, right? Doesn't know his right from his left. Y'all are young men of understanding, right? When you turn 20 years old in the Bible, you were being prepped for war. Well, you were being numbered for war, actually. So at your age, you'll be being prepped for the army to go and fight, right? Read on.
And mine eyes shall not spare thee,
Right.
neither will I have pity,
Go ahead.
but I will recompense thy ways upon thee,
The Lord's going to recompense your ways upon you. Read.
and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee,
Read.
and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh,
Right.
and evil, and only evil, behold, is come.
The Lord said evil and only evil is come. When you think about the condition of our people, all we receive as a whole is evil. Now you have instances where some brothers and some sisters may be able to rise up above the conditions that they were born in. But when you think about us as a whole nation, which is what really matters, we are constantly living in turmoil. We're living in evil. Read.
And end is come.
Go ahead.
The end is come.
Go ahead.
It watches for thee. Behold, it is come.
Come on.
The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land.
We're the men that are sighing and crying. We, Lord willing, we bear that spiritual mark. Read.
Verse number 8. Verse number 7.
Come on.
Salak. Verse 5. And to the others I said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city,
Right.
and smite. Let not your eye spare.
The Lord said, go through the city and smite, meaning kill, slay, destroy. Read.
Neither have ye pity.
Don't have any pity.
Slay utterly old and young.
The Lord said, slay old and young. Read.
Both maids and little children.
Maids and little children, meaning women and small children
And women.
and women. Go ahead.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
But when Christ comes back, if you have that mark on your head, he's going to spare you. But if not, it's symbolically, it means that you've been living a life of wickedness, a life of sin. You've been living separate from the Most High. He said, if you don't have that mark, he's going to utterly slay and destroy, old and young. Right? Go ahead.
And begin at my sanctuary.
Begin at his sanctuary, meaning his holy people. Read.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Right, and the old men, the ancient men that are at the house. So real quick, you can hold that. When the Lord comes back, brother, he's not coming back with kisses and hugs. Contrary to what they teach you in the Christian church, he's not coming back to give you a hug and a lollipop
At all.
and say you've been a good boy. He's coming back to judge you according to what you've done on this earth.
Right.
That's the Bible that everyone says they believe in. Right? So us as a people, we have to turn back to the Lord. Because would you agree that we don't serve the Lord as a people? We serve our own will. You get what I'm saying? So it's important for you brothers to know this as young men. Because y'all learn some valuable things today. Right? First thing you learned is that what? Christ, what does Christ look like? He looks like us. And who are we according to the Bible?
The Israelites.
The Israelites. Did you know that already? You already knew we were the Israelites? Who told you?
My father.
Your father told you that? Your father's an Israelite? No, but he knows we're the Israelites. Well, that's a mighty thing. That's a mighty thing. Alright, so we the Israelites according to the Bible. We gotta repent. Alright? And you learn something else that's very valuable. Right? Who are the enemies of the Israelites? The chief enemy. The white. And don't forget that. Now, I'm not saying you gotta go around and hitting this dude, upside the head or nothing like that. But you have to always remember that. The Lord said to never trust your enemies. Because eventually their wickedness is not gonna always be put away. You understand? Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31.
Bring it out.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Right, so when the Lord comes back, he's coming back with the vision. Right? Like Luke 12 and 51. He's coming back with the vision. He's going to separate all the nations of the earth. The whites, the Chinese, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Israelites. He's going to separate us. Now the sheep on his right hand, that's us. Right? Because remember, y'all ever heard the last shall be first and the first shall be last? So that means who's the last right now? That means when Christ comes back, we're going to be the what? We're going to be the first. It all makes sense when you apply it practically and not from some what's the word I'm looking for? Some heretical doctrine that's been passed down by the hands of the so-called white man. Right? So y'all learned a lot today, man. Follow the YouTube. Follow the YouTube. WFI Virginia. Alright, WFI Virginia. Y'all follow the YouTube, man. It's a lot of information. Watch the videos, bro. Study. Right? Y'all live in the age of information. Right? You got your phones, you got the Bibles right there at your fingertips. Y'all brothers study. Figure this thing out. Alright? Alright, Jay. You the quiet one, man, but yeah, man, you gotta make sure you study, bro. Hey, you make sure he study too, man. And you too, bro. Tell your dad, hey, Pops, we the Israelites, we gotta figure this thing out. Right? For sure, man. Don't be ashamed to say who your enemies are. Don't be ashamed to proclaim who you are.
Love it.
Because it makes no sense to call yourself black. What color is your shirt? Black. Are you that color? No, we different shades of brown. You can't speak black. You can't speak African American. Right? You are the Israelites, man. Alright? Peace to y'all kings, man.
All right, brothers.
Shalom.
The book of Mark, chapter 1, verse number 15.
Bring it up.
And say, the time is fulfilled, and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ye and believe in the gospel.